Alright guys, welcome to Tech Talk with Turf. Today we are going to look at the new functionality in Lightroom called HDR plus Panorama to see if this is really going to help speed up your process and still give you the high quality prints that I know you guys are looking for. So let's dive right in. And we see that we have a number of prints here. I actually did a shoot out in Washington, United States, and went to the top of Crystal Mountain to take some shots of Mount Rainier. Beautiful day, got a fantastic panorama. I did bracketed shots of, I think I did 0.7 exposure value differential between them. And this is what we ended up with here. So you can see my 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So we have a set of 4 unique pictures in the panorama and 3 exposure values per picture. Now, as advertised in Lightroom, you can do HDR plus panorama at the same time. So let's see and let's put it to the test. Here we go. So I'm going to select all the photos. I'm going to go to photo at the top. I'm going to go to photo merge, and you see the new option, HDR Panorama. Is it a magic button? We will find out. Here we go. All right, and there we go. We have a beautiful preview. It looks like it did it flawlessly. Notice here we have some options. Standard options for panorama, spherical, cylindrical, perspective. When dealing with lengthwise panoramas, I'm either going to check spherical or cylindrical. In this case, we only had 4 prints, so I'm going to do cylindrical. It's going to make it a little bit bigger and stretch it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to leave my boundary wrap at 0. Notice that we do have another option down here called Create Stack. So essentially what that's going to do is it's going to create a stack of all of the images. So instead of having a view in my library or develop in the bottom bar of all of my prints, it's just going to show one image with the number of images in that stack, which I can expand on. So option if you like to do it. You know, I like to be clean a lot of the times, and if I'm happy with my panorama, I will delete the photos that I use for HDR, but that's totally up to you. Finally down here you'll notice this exclamation mark. And this is kind of a big deal because it says that HDR brackets merged with align image on, so it's going to do auto align images. That's good, we like that. And deghost off. Deghost off completely? Well, that could lead to some problems, and I guess we'll see once we create the final images if it does lead to some problems. But deghost is off completely. There's no low. I'll tell you, on these images in particular, there was some slight wind that day, and I was not shooting on a tripod, so we could run into some issues, but I guess we'll see. To merge with different settings, merge the HDR brackets individually. That's what we're going to do as the alternative. That's the traditional way of doing it, and then we're going to compare the results, so let's do it. Let's merge it right now. All right. Merge task was added, and we'll speed through this. Okay, and there we go. It completed the merge and the HDR brackets for each of the 4 sets of photos, and it created this stack. So if I look down below, I only see 1, but I see the number 13 down here, which means there's 13 images in this stack. So let's see what the math is here. That's 4 images times 3, that's 12, plus the panorama, that's 13. Boom, Lightroom, you nailed it. Nice job. But really the proof is in the pudding here, so let's take a look and see if we like the image. So I'm going to take a look. This is looking pretty good, pretty good. I'm just kind of browsing through here quickly. Overall, I'm not seeing really any ghosting there in the clouds, which I would have expected, so pretty good job there. Oh, but here, yep, I can see it. I see it. there's definitely some ghosting going on. So I guess we're gonna have to check and see if we turn ghost on for individual HDR images and we try to do it the traditional way, if we end up with a better quality print. So with that, let's expand this puppy back out. So I'm gonna click on the 13. That's gonna expand all the images again. And now guess what? We're gonna go through the long, arduous process of doing HDR to each one of these sets of 4 images, and then doing panoramic, and then comparing the two to figure out which one is actually better. Let's do it. First, select my first set of images, Shift, and select, and then I'm gonna press Control H for HDR. I'm just going to do a medium deghost because it did look like there was a little ghosting and I wasn't on a tripod, so I do want it to be a little more specific about the areas that it deghosts. And then we are going to speed through this for you guys because I'm just going to do the same thing on all of them. And I'm not going to create a stack for each of these. Whew. Okay, there we go. HDR complete. We're not done. Now we need to panorama. Okay, so let's take a look. Select all of our HDR images. Shift, click, Control M for panorama. Whoever came up with that was brilliant. Command M. Command make my life difficult because I can't remember how to do panorama with the keyboard. Anyways, we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do cylindrical. We're gonna do auto crop. We're not gonna do auto stack. And the images should turn out just about exactly the same with deghost on. We'll see. Okay, we got a successful merge, people. Here we go. Okay, so now we got 2 panorama images. One done with the new feature of HDR plus panorama at the same time. The second done with the traditional way of doing each of the bracketed sets of photos individually and then merging them into a panorama. We're also going to look at energy consumption for each one of those and the time that it took and do a comparison there, because that is going to be a factor in determining whether this is a viable tool in the new Lightroom. Okay, so let's do the comparison. We have the new photo and then we're going to drag the first photo. So let's go back to the first photo. Oh, just kidding, new photo. Okay. Back to the first photo on the right. Okay, we can see the deghosting here. So I mean, we found the pudding, guys. It's right here, and we can definitely see a ghost here. I mean, we can see some slight ghosting happening around here, which we could probably eliminate if we'd actually set that on high deghost. So that being said, if I wanted to use this as a gallery print and I wanted to blow it up to, let's say on the short edge, 24 inches, then using the new functionality, I would not be happy with that print. It would not be a gallery quality print. I wouldn't be able to sell it. It'd be really easily recognizable, so it's not feasible for me to use that option. And the weather conditions were not super significant, and I wasn't doing a lot of camera shake even though it wasn't on a tripod. That being said, compared to how much time and power it took to create the image doing the traditional method, if I'm going to use it for, let's say, Instagram, or I'm going to use it for Facebook, maybe not a big deal. Like this ghosting, you're probably not even going to be able to see it once you save it. But if I am going to blow it up as a gallery print and I'm going to print this puppy and try to sell it either on canvas or metallic or acrylic or a frame, then I'm definitely going to do the traditional method. I'm going to go back, I'm going to redo HDR, I'm going to put this on high deghost, I'm going to add a little bit of extra pre-sharpening to it, and that's what I'm going to stick with. So for me, the new functionality without deghost is not going to work. For you, it might. But if you want that really high quality print, stick with the traditional method until Adobe comes out with ghosting within its functionality for creating HDR and panoramas with one click. Okay, that's it guys. Thanks for tuning in to Tech Talk with Turf. We'll be coming out with new videos on the weekly, so check back, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notified of new videos coming out, like, share with all your friends, and then make sure to put comments in if you got some better suggestions for me about how to do things. Alright, we'll catch you guys next time.